Aloha and welcome to Spirit Chat Radio. So, today I'm going to be talking about what's going on with this new May energy. We have a new moon that's coming. It's going to be the 4th. And with this is some more shifting going on. And there's basically a process that a lot of people are going to be going through. You probably started it a little bit ago, maybe could have been a few days ago or might have been last week. But there's basically a 4-step process that people are going to be going through with this May energy and this moon phase. It's got some really cool stuff coming with it, so that's a good thing. For those of you who are really sensitive, you're probably noticing a shift, which is going to feel a little nice. But there's definitely a process if you want to get to the good stuff because there's a lot of new energy coming in with that. New moon, new energy. It's not always that way, but with this one it is. And with new energy can come really positive energy, uplifting energy, and new opportunity and different things, new beginnings, whatever. So there's a lot of really good energy that'll be coming along with this as well. So that's going to be super exciting. So, we're going to talk about this 4-step process. And before I get started on that, for those of you who are not, again, in my Keys to the Spirit World's spirit community, you'll definitely want to stop on over there. If you're new to the podcast, we do a lot of talks about different things during the week. Sometimes I do card polls. You can ask questions over there, anything regarding spiritual stuff. And it's just a really good spiritual group if you want to share stories and talk about things that are going on, you have questions. It's a really good place to be. And if you need a link to that, it'll either be below or you can go to keys2thespiritworld.com and there's a button that says Spirit Community. You can click on there and ask to join. I am working on some new stuff, a lot of empath stuff. And so you're going to be wanting to watch for that. I have a new website coming. I'm not really loving the Keys to the Spirit World website anymore. It's not really serving me. It is in some ways. It's, collecting emails and so I can talk with you guys when I have new stuff coming out. But I'm working on a very simple one that just basically has links to my podcast. It has my readings on there because I've been doing a lot of readings. And it's going to have one of my empath books that I'm going to start giving away to you guys for free so that you can just, hopefully learn how to deal with some negative energy and that sort of thing. It's a really helpful book. So as soon as I get up, which I hope to have up by next podcast, I'll give you the link to that, and I'll be changing all my stuff over from Keys over to this new Empowered Empath site purely for just simplifying everything, readings, podcasts, and then I'll be adding classes. So you'll want to be on my email list if you're not on my email list because I am working on some classes, empath stuff, empath classes that people have been asking me a lot about since their empath sensitivities seem to be just, heightened like crazy right now, and everybody's really noticing it, and they're learning or need to learn how to manage it. So that stuff is going to be coming out. Everything hits my email list first and my group. So you'll want to be in one or the other. You'll either want to be in the group or the email list if you want to hear about it right away. That being said, let's get into what's going on with this new moon energy for May. That's going to be really awesome. For those of you who are sensitive, you probably already know that there's a lot of different shifting going on as everybody's moving through with the new energy, and everybody's having to adjust to the new energy. It's causing a lot of different things to happen. We've been talking about that on the last couple of podcasts. Usually when I do a podcast, we're just talking about kind of experiences like, here's what you might be feeling. Here's, you might be more tired. You might be this, you might be that. But with this one, there's an actual process that I have found super helpful that helps you move through in a productive way with this energy that's coming through. So it's almost like if you kind of follow these steps, you'll find that you don't just get through it really well. You'll find that, that you'll have some really cool breakthroughs and shifting that you're kind of working with this new moon energy, this new beginning stuff. And like I said, people talk about that all the time, new beginnings, new moon. It's not always the case with sensitive people. It depends on how the planets are aligned and all that. But this is the case with this one. So it's super good. Very cool. So here's this 4-step process I want to talk about, and 4 things you should really be paying attention to and know about this particular wave. The first process that you might be going through, or will probably come up for you, or the first step to the process, is really digging deep into fears that you've been having for the last couple years, or last year, or last several years. You really now need to take the time, if you haven't done it before, and really just get deep into what fears that you have right now, and talk about it with somebody. Write it down on paper. Bring those fears to the surface somehow, even if it's just you go through them in your mind. A lot of times people try to push their fears down because, oh, we don't want to feed energy into the fear. We don't want to, so they kind of cork it or bottle it. Well, that works sometimes for a while, but with this planetary stuff going on right now, you're not going to be able to cork things very well. But with this particular phase that we're in, this particular time of the energy that we're working with this month, these fears, if you start really being truthful to yourself about them, which is kind of basically the key, even if you're talking to somebody, if you're really admitting the fears to yourself, and you're really admitting the fears to maybe somebody, or just to yourself, like, what is it that is really kind of holding you back in a situation? What is your greatest fear about this particular situation that you're going through right now? For those of you going through some stuff, who are sensitive people, who really have a worry about something, who really are nervous about something, you're really trying hard to counteract this fear and this nervousness, it's time for you to take a minute to go, why is this scenario that I'm building up in my head? Because a fear usually is basically not happened yet, right? It's something that you are anticipating could possibly happen, and it's very scary and worrisome to you. So whatever situation that you've been resisting and that's been causing you stress and has been causing you worry or concern for the last few months or year or whatever, now's the time to really go, seriously, what is my deepest fear about this? Like, really get in there. My deepest fear, like, really be truthful. I'm afraid that, maybe you're afraid that if you switch jobs, that you just won't be able to find another one. Maybe you're afraid that you're going to go homeless. Maybe you're afraid that people will look at you and they'll never view you the same. Maybe you're afraid, if you're in your own business or something, maybe you're afraid that you can't build that business, or that you've overextended yourself, or maybe you're afraid that you're not going to get the work in. If you're afraid of that, go deeper. And what I mean by that is, well, what happens? Like, go follow that fear. Let's say that you're afraid, what if you were to switch your job and you had a really hard time finding another one? What if? Then what? What happens if you really couldn't pay for things and then you did find you had to move in with a friend or something? Like, keep going. Like, what is your deepest fear of what could possibly happen? And just be truthful to yourself of what your deepest fear is. It's not that it's going to happen, but it's almost like bringing it to the surface to just let it go. Like, because with this energy wave, it's like fears and deep worries, they're compressed and they're in a pressure cooker. And you gotta really kind of let the pressure cooker, you gotta let the lid off a little bit just to kind of let the steam out of the fear. Just really face it and decide if it's a relationship issue and you're like, what if this doesn't work out? Or like, it's been toxic for a while. What if it doesn't? What is your greatest fear about it? Is it that you're alone? Is your greatest fear that you don't have any money anymore? Is your greatest fear that you don't have any love anymore? What is your greatest fear? Is it not accomplishing what that you have been working so hard to accomplish? Is that what is it? And once you kind of acknowledge what your greatest fear is, this scares me. This is something that makes me scared to think about. Once you kind of be truthful to yourself about that, instead of just going, oh no, don't listen to that. Just be like, okay, so now what's your role in it? That's your process. That's your step number 2. What is your role in trying to stop your greatest fear? Because this new wave is all about kind of you getting out of your own way. And so the energetic pattern I've seen that's been going on for the last even probably year or 6 months or a year is people have been kind of festering and feeding their fears and worries of a situation or relationship or whatever. They've been kind of really growing it, this fear, and they are now in the step 2, they are trying to block it somehow. So there are roles that people are playing while trying to block and hinder their own fear from happening. And so now's the time to go, what am I doing that's actually, I'm trying to block it. The reason that you want to figure that out is because you kind of want to get out of your own way, because that's causing the fear to be bigger than it actually is. If you're really afraid of a situation happening and you are like, let's say you're worried that you're not going to have enough work or you're not going to have enough money, and you are just working 2 times as hard or twice as hard or 3 times as hard. That is that's your role in counteracting that fear. So now you're feeding that fear more energy, And so if you face your fear and go, you know what, that's what I'm most afraid of, but I know I'm going to be okay regardless. I know that whatever's going to happen and unfold from here, it doesn't matter because I'm going to be okay. So that's no longer going to be a fear of mine, and I'm no longer going to try to battle this fear by pushing against it, and trying to force a situation to happen a certain way. So your step 2 is, what role are you playing in your fear? What are you trying to force? How are you trying to force the river? How are you trying to force an outcome that you're pretty sure is going to make it comfortable for you? That means you're now working against universal energy. You're feeding the fear and giving it more life. So the third step in the process is shifting your perspective. Okay, the fear's not really, it's not real. It's just a fear that I've kind of created. And because of that, I've created a scenario, and here's my role in it. I'm doing XYZ to counteract this fear that really hasn't happened, but it's a potential worry of mine. So now you make it bigger than life. Now it's time to shift your perspective. And, how can I just go more with a positive mindset? How can I see things from a more positive aspect? How can I come at this situation with a more uplifting or loving attitude or joyful attitude. Like, I'm going to let the universe sort of handle this fear and worry that I've made up or made bigger than it needs to be. I'm going to now relax because it's not even a thing that's happened. It's just a potential concern. And how can I now play a more positive role in moving forward and sort of letting go of this fear? So, like, you move forward in a more joyful, more positive outlook. Let's say you're in a strained relationship. That one's an easy one. If you've been worried that maybe you would be alone, or you're worried that you're not going to get along anymore, or something along those lines. So you really get aggravated that they're not behaving a certain way, and so that causes you to behave a certain way because it doesn't seem like they're giving enough and you're giving more and you're feeling frustrated. That's where you're adding into the role, because now you're adding in fearful, frustrated energy. So there has to be a shift on, you know what? You have to pull yourself back from the situation and go, but how can I come at this with I give up and I just want to be happier. I just want to be happier in my job. I just want to be happier in my relationship. What role can I play to be happier at home? What role can I play to be happier at work? What role can I play to be happier with my money situation? That is one of the most important steps with this new moon energy, because it's going to amplify. And once you start shifting your actions and your perception to, I know I can just come at this with a more like, I just want my situation to feel happier. I want to find more time to relax. I want to not work so hard. I want to find more joy in my life. Once you start looking for more joyful scenarios and start letting people who are around you, who might be, maybe if they're being snippy from their own energetic wave stuff going on, or they're in an energetic pattern of just being cranky lately or whatever, if you just kind of let them be and just don't react from it and just go, you know what, that's their stuff, and I want to just feel happy right now, so I'm just going to let them do their thing, and I'm going to do something over here that I'm feeling good about. Or at work, if you're having a lot of tension at work and you're just like, you know what, I just want to find my happy place at work again. I have to redo my actions. I have to redo my perception on what made this joyful. I want to do whatever I can to find that again. And so that is your step number 3, is to shift your perspective to try to figure out what your role in your life is, that you can come at your situations with, you know what, I stop resisting and just go, I know I can add to this. I know I can add value to my happiness. And that's where my energy is very well spent, by focusing more on my role in my own happiness and my role in my own environment and situation. As far as how happy I am, I know I can do better at this. I know that I can change my attitude. I know I can change my mind, my mindset. And I want to break those old resistant patterns, because up until now, and then I'm going to get to the last one, which is fairly simple. Up until now, there's been an energetic pattern that people have been kind of bracing themselves for change, and they've been very fearful. All over the energy of all the world and all over the place has been fearful because everybody can feel this change coming. And so we've sort of fallen into an energetic thought pattern, and an energetic habit of resistance and fear and worry. So the fear and worry then cause resistance, and that's all starting to diminish and break down right now. We're going into a whole new phase and a whole new dimensional shift, and we're getting into a little bit past that now, where we're coming into where we have a lot of control over our joy, and we have a lot of control over how we view things. We have a lot of control over our happiness, but we need to take responsibility for that. You can't overlook your role. It doesn't matter what role you're in. You have some sort of choice in what role you're playing in your own life, because you're like the ultimate decision maker. So whether you choose to stay in certain situations that you're not happy with or whatever, that's your role. And so, now it's time to figure out, instead of resistance, where's my happiness, and stop pushing against and stop resisting. Which brings us to the last step, which is when you start tuning into, I'm too tired to be fearful anymore. When you face your fear and you just be like, energetically, I just don't have the energy and I don't have the want to be fearful of XYZ anymore. I'm too tired to fight it. This boulder's too heavy to push up a hill. And I just want to chill for a while, and I just want to remember and enjoy and relax and remember how to do that. I want to remember and create a new energetic pattern. I want to create a new energetic habit of, I want to stop resisting. The universe is going to work all this out that I'm concerned about, and I'm just going to go to my happy place. That's where I want to stay. I just want to do that. Which brings us to the fourth step, which is this will actually, right now with this new moon energy, there's going to be a huge heart chakra activation. And people are going to start feeling it really strongly. If you're sensitive, of course, you're going to start feeling a very strong, joyful or love type of heart activation that's going to want to come through. And if you tune into that, if you just go, I'm done resisting and I just want to spread joy. Like, I want to spread joy into my family. I want to spread joy amongst my friends. I want to, spread joy to the checker. I want to really see how I can enhance people's lives around me. Doesn't matter how they're behaving to me, but I want to tune in to feeling, how can I enhance situations around me? How can I be more helpful to people around me? How can I be more helpful to myself, my situations, my friends, my family? How can I spread more love and understanding to things that they're going through, and be more comforting to them, and be there for, and be kind, and spread kind words, and just be loving energy. If you tune into this new moon energy and you start tuning into that, you're going to feel the greatest heart activation, and it's going to be very powerful through the chest center, and you're going to feel like you just want to spread more love and spread joy to those around you, and you're going to let the resistance down. And the whole point of all this process is it's going to domino into your own life and situations that you're dealing with. It's going to naturally love and joy energy when you really can tune into it, especially when you're talking about a planetary alignment such as this. It's extremely powerful. It will very powerfully domino through other areas of your life, and you will notice that it will, or kind of like bowling pins, it will just kind of sort of start knocking out the worries, knocking down the pins, and kind of knocking them out of your view with so effortlessly that you will be like, why did I sit there and boulder that thing up the hill? Why would I do that this whole time, when it just seems like I just needed to make this shift? Well, because Actually, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. I try not to go hindsight's 2020. You just want to work with the energetic flow and the planetary alignment and the shifts that we're going through now. And this is a very cool new beginnings one, and it's a super great opportunity to really be truthful. Step one, really be truthful with yourself. Um, Take responsibility for resistance that you've had. Shift your perspective and let go of resisting. Let go of holding that fear and let it just flow out, because it will move out with the energy of the new moon. As long as you acknowledge and you just let go of that and you shift your perspective and go, I just don't want to hold on to this anymore, it's going to naturally just pull out like a magnet with this new moon. And then you tune in to this new loving joyful energy that you would rather have in your life, and you would rather pull through and have it domino through your life in a way that is entirely different than what you've created the energetic habit to be up until this point. So now is a good time to create a new energetic habit, a new energetic pattern, and you are going to feel so relieved. You are just, it's the most amazing, wonderful feeling. It's a very zen, powerful feeling. So dig deep, pull up those fears, understand that you've been feeding them because you have, because that's what your energetic pattern has been, your energetic habit. Understand you've created a large energetic mountain out of it, and let it go. Don't hold on to that anymore. Just by even acknowledging that, you're going to allow the release to begin. Let go of your role. Let go of anything that you're worried of happening, and just know that everything's going to work out. It's going to be okay. And now is the time to start trusting in the universe and accept your role as bringing in more happiness into your life. Start looking for, how can I enhance my life? Now's the time to enhance your life. Look for opportunity, because the opportunities are coming and they will back you up with this new May energy. And feel your heart chakra open. You can do meditations with it, or you can just do what I've been talking about, and just even reaching to find that, how can I enhance this? How can I really use this new energy coming through, and really I want to take this opportunity to pull it into my life and into my relationships and business and my job and my family, my kids, my money. And I really want to pull this new heartfelt, joyful energy through, because it's going to be amazing. You will feel so good. So hopefully that was helpful, and you embrace this new moon energy, and you have some new beginnings, and you really just let that old stuff go and clear out. And until next time, I will be back, hopefully with a new website that you guys can get on my VIP list. So we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff this year. So anyways, have the most amazing day. Until next time, aloha.